lot of people have a misunderstanding of totality of the how simply we made the nanomaterials. it takes me 2 minutes, but I think it will help you a lot to put a lot of the things which you've learned in the past in order. You have two choices when you have a matter. Let's look at the copper wire which you use. You can loosen the bond between the copper electrons, protons, atoms, or whatever shape or form in 2 or 3 ways. One of them is to heat it, to melt it, that it flows. Then you don't have a wire, then you have no control. Or you can heat it in an ordinary manner that become like a glue. You can attach other things to it. Chemically, you loosen it. Or in so many ways, what we do in batteries, in plating. You go for a chemical binding. The third way, and a new way, which you all do, you, with the caustic, have to understand the process. With the caustic, because of its composition, it creates a heat which does not liquidify the whole copper wire. It does not chemically release the binding between the atoms, but on the outer layer allows the freedom of the atom. So one atom is released at the right temperature. The caustic you use is literally a controlled microwave oven. That's why you find your caustic and different composition of caustics created different kind of layers with materials, different materials. So what you do with caustic is hot enough, the heat enough, the energy transfer is enough to release the Coulomb's barrier bond on the top layer of the copper wire. But immediately as it's released, due to the gravitational magnetic field of the environment, which is the Earth's atmospheric condition, this thing comes like a ball balancing between the matter state to join to become again as part of the copper wire, or stay as an individual single atom the way it is. But the process is so rapid that it becomes like a jungle. It gets filled up full of atoms. So now, only thing you do when you put your copper wire in the position up in a container to let it to what you call drying, but I call reorganization, by indicating a flow, you set the lines in order. So now, by that process, you set a pattern for the then what we call atomic structures to find in respect to each other. And it goes back again. If you remember, in gravitational magnetic fields, what we shown to you was a magnet always finds its position in respect to the other magnet in 2 ways. It attracts itself or it repels itself, depending if it's receiving or is sharing. If I try to show this in a simple way. If the magnets, try to see if you can see it, it'll be easier for me. If the magnets are sharing, you have what you call gravitation. And then it allows the magnets to attract with each other and become one. Can we make this closer to be seen? Then it's easier. So, what you do in your layers, if you allow the magnets to join, to link up, you got gravitation. But if you allow the magnets to find each one of these magnets, they're like plasmas. It's exactly the shape of plasma. The center of the magnet, where is about here, this is where the principal matter sits. Where you come to from the center to the side, that's your transition line. And what you see as a ring of the magnet, this is your matter state. So these ring magnets literally clearly show the property and the strength and the way a plasma works. If I move the magnet to each other, you can see the other one moves. So what you do, or what you've done in your nano layers, this is what you have created. What you have created is you released, if this pen was the copper wire, you have released now 2 atoms from it. But these atoms now position themselves in respect to each other and to the copper. So you create, if you follow the same pattern, you create atoms with a certain distance from each other. And this gives you what you call a layer. This is one layer of nanoatomic material, or what we call nano layering. So now what you have what you have is in fact a atom, what in respect to the other atom magnetic gravitational strength, in what we call mag-grav positioning.